Hey ladies, I'm sorry. I was at fault too. I just didn't see a future. I wasn't happy.
It began with a single crack of the judge's gavel. Just one hit, sharp, violent, echoing off the wooden walls like a gunshot in a cathedral. That sound sliced straight through years of Brown family silence. In that split second, under the unforgiving glow of fluorescent lights, the carefully controlled world Kody Brown had built, polished and protected, began to crumble in front of everyone. But it wasn't the judge's voice that made the courtroom explode into shock. It was Meri's. What she finally screamed a truth she'd been swallowing for years would haunt every soul in that room for the rest of their lives. Are you ready to see the moment everything shifts for the Brown family? Before we pull back the curtain on the truth, drop your theories in the comments. Who do you really believe, Kody? The wives or the kids? Whose side are you on when the cameras stop and the secrets start? Outside the courthouse, the morning air is razor sharp, biting at faces and turning every breath into a pale cloud in the weak winter sunlight. There's a strange crackling energy on the sidewalk, part hope, part dread. Everyone out there knows today isn't just about legal paperwork or money. Today's the day the truth about the Browns stops being whispers and becomes evidence. News vans choke the street, double parked with satellite dishes raised like metal skeletons against the sky. Cables snake across the concrete. Reporters huddle over scribbled notes, muttering into microphones, rehearsing the words they'll use when this all blows up. Inside, the courthouse feels old and alive at the same time. Echoes ricochet off stone hallways. Shoes squeak on worn linoleum. The metallic jingle of the bailiff's keys booms like thunder in the unsettling quiet. In the main courtroom, there isn't a single empty seat. Strangers, distant cousins, bloggers, YouTubers, old family friends who haven't been seen in years, they're all jammed into the benches, eyes fixed on the front. The harsh lights overhead try to push back the shadows, but they can't quite reach the corners, and the darkness there feels intentional, like it's hiding something. Kody sits at the defense table, posture rigid, shoulders hunched inside a suit that suddenly seems too small for him. He looks like he's aged a decade since the last Sister Wives season. Deep lines carve his face. His hair is grayer, his jaw clenched so tight the muscles twitch. He doesn't look right or left. He doesn't look at the spectators, at his wives, or even at his own attorney. His eyes are locked on the judge's bench, as if he can bend reality to his will one more time just by staring hard enough. Next to him, Robin looks like she hasn't slept all night. Her face is pale, eyes swollen, mascara barely hanging on. She twists her wedding band round and round her finger, her hands trembling in her lap. Her breathing is shallow, like every inhale comes with a cost. Behind them, Christine and Janelle sit side by side, not touching. Not quite united, but tethered by a shared history they can no longer escape. Janelle balances a legal pad on her knees, pretending to be composed and analytical. But her pen taps a nervous rhythm against the paper, betraying every emotion she's trying to hide. Christine is perfectly still, lips pressed together, shoulders stiff. Her eyes, those sharp, cold, blazing, are a storm waiting for the right lightning strike. And then there's Meri. She is a storm already forming on the horizon. This morning, she's quiet, almost eerily controlled, but her gaze never leaves Kody. Her eyes track him like a target. Her shoulders are coiled tight, the kind of tension that tells you the dam is about to break. People keep glancing at her, watching the set of her jaw, the way she doesn't blink. They can feel it. Something huge is coming. The bailiff steps in first, voice booming through the room. All rise. Chairs scrape back. People stand. The judge strides in, robes swirling, face grave and unreadable. For half a second, there's a tiny flicker of naive hope. Maybe this will end quietly. Maybe this is just another hearing, another motion, another delay. Maybe the worst is already behind them. It isn't. What happens next shatters any fantasy of a peaceful resolution. The truth isn't going to tiptoe and it's about to blow the doors off. The prosecutor rises, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. Your Honor, this is not a simple family disagreement. She gestures to the mountain of binders on her table. Financial records, property deeds, old bank statements. Years of paper that never made it onto reality TV. Her tone is calm and clinical. But every word adds to the pressure in the room like a slow, suffocating weight. This is a case about trust, deception, and the deliberate destruction of a family legacy. Kody's attorney tries to jump in, but the judge's hand slams down, firm and final. Let her speak. The air tightens. In the front row, someone grips their purse until their knuckles whiten. A knee bounces uncontrollably. Another person crosses themselves under their breath. Then the documents start to come out. The prosecutor lifts them one by one, holding them up for the judge, for the record. And for the cameras that aren't technically there but might as well be. Page after page of property transfers. Unexplained withdrawals. Signatures that appear where they shouldn't and are missing where they should be. Each sheet is a breadcrumb trail of late-night meetings, side deals, shifting loyalties, and money that seems to evaporate into thin air. Kody's jaw moves like he's chewing rocks. His lawyer flips through his notebook, pen scrawling frantically, eyes widening with every new revelation. Meri doesn't move, but her gaze is scorching, boring holes through the side of Kody's face. It's the look of someone who spent years wondering if she's crazy, and is finally getting proof she isn't. Christine leans toward Janelle and whispers something, the corners of her mouth sharp with old pain. For a heartbeat, the distance between them collapses and the old sisterhood flickers back to life. They aren't rivals here. They're witnesses. Just when it feels like the tension can't stretch any tighter without snapping. The prosecutor calls the next witness, and you can feel the energy shift again. Old friends, former business partners, people whose faces show up in the background of family photos or on the edges of TLC episodes. One after another, they take the stand. Their voices are low, but heavy stories of deals that soured. Investments that vanished, arguments behind closed doors that lasted until dawn. One remembers Kody promising, "This land belongs to all of us. No secrets." The sentence hangs in the air like a ghost, mocking everything that's being uncovered now. Kody shifts in his seat, hands flexing and clenching. His eyes flick to the clock, begging time to move faster. But the seconds drag like wet cement. Under the table, Robin reaches for his hand, needing something to hold onto, but he pulls away, face blank, jaw hard. The distance between them says more than any testimony. The judge finally calls for a recess. The release is immediate. People stand, stretch, sore backs, breathe for what feels like the first time all day. In the hallways, the murmur rises like a hive. "Did you hear that? I knew something was wrong. He really said that." Reporters hammer notes into their phones, firing off updates to producers who are already prepping breaking news graphics. In a small side room, Christine and Janelle stand near a frosted window, the gray parking lot stretching out behind them. They whisper fiercely, words soaked in history. "He swore on everything," Christine says, voice trembling with wounds that never healed. "He looked us right in the eye." Janelle exhales, staring at nothing. "I kept thinking, if I stay quiet, maybe it will fix itself. Maybe the family will hold together." Her voice cracks. But now, she can't finish. The sentence crumbles in her throat, too heavy to say out loud. Back in a lonely corner of the hallway, Meri sits alone on a wooden bench, staring down at her hands. She inhales shakily, then stands. Every step back toward those courtroom doors looks like it costs her something. She pauses with her hand on the knob, closes her eyes, and releases a long, trembling sigh. If there were cameras here, this is the shot they'd linger on. A woman standing at the edge of her breaking point, deciding whether to finally step over. Don't blink. The next few minutes will change the Browns forever. When court resumes, the judge looks more exhausted but more determined. Let's proceed. The prosecutor doesn't waste time. This time, she isn't holding paper. She holds up a small device. "Your Honor, our next piece of evidence is a recorded voicemail." The room stills. Kody's voice fills the courtroom late at night. Weary, low, talking casually about moving money. keeping things quiet, making sure certain people don't find out yet. Every word is a hammer. Every pause is a confession. You can hear the collective inhale as the audio plays. A shiver of disbelief and confirmation all at once. Shiver of disbelief and confirmation all at once. Kody shifts in his seat, hands flexing and clenching. His eyes flick to the clock, begging time to move faster. But the seconds drag like wet cement. Under the table, Robin reaches for his hand, needing something to hold onto, but he pulls away, face blank, jaw hard. The distance between them says more than any testimony. The judge finally calls for a recess. The release is immediate. People stand, stretch, sore backs, breathe for what feels like the first time all day. In the hallways, the murmur rises like a hive. "Did you hear that? I knew something was wrong. He really said that." Reporters hammer notes into their phones, firing off updates to producers who are already prepping breaking news graphics. In a small side room, Christine and Janelle stand near a frosted window, the gray parking lot stretching out behind them. They whisper fiercely, words soaked in history. "He swore on everything Christine says," voice trembling with wounds that never healed. "He looked us right in the eye." Janelle exhales, staring at nothing. "I kept thinking, if I stay quiet, maybe it will fix itself. Maybe the family will hold together." Her voice cracks. But now, she can't finish. The sentence crumbles in her throat, too heavy to say out loud. Back in a lonely corner of the hallway, Meri sits alone on a wooden bench, staring down at her hands. She inhales shakily, then stands. Every step back toward those courtroom doors looks like it costs her something. She pauses with her hand on the knob, closes her eyes, and releases a long, trembling sigh. If there were cameras here, this is the shot they'd linger on. A woman standing at the edge of her breaking point, deciding whether to finally step over. Don't blink. The next few minutes will change the Browns forever. When court resumes, the judge looks more exhausted, but more determined. "Let's proceed." The prosecutor doesn't waste time. This time, she isn't holding paper. She holds up a small device. "Your Honor, our next piece of evidence is a recorded voicemail." The room stills. Kody's voice fills the courtroom late at night. Weary, low, talking casually about moving money. Keeping things quiet, making sure certain people don't find out yet. Every word is a hammer. Every pause is a confession. You can hear the collective inhale as the audio plays, a shiver of disbelief and confirmation all at once. Kody's lawyer jumps up. "Objection, Your Honor. This is taken out of Kant." The judge cuts him off with a look. "The context," he says, "is the pattern. And the pattern is very clear." All eyes slowly turn to Meri. She stands. At first, her voice is shaky, but it strengthens with every sentence. "We all made sacrifices for this family," she says. "But we did not agree to this." The quiver in her voice hardens into steel. Kody's face flushes crimson. "Meri, please." "Not now." She doesn't sit. She doesn't shrink. "No, Kody, you don't get to tell me to be quiet anymore. If you think you know how this story ends, you're wrong. The fireworks are only just beginning." Outside, reporters adjust their cameras, waiting for a meltdown, a comment. A single raw moment they can replay 1,000 times. Inside, each Brown is trapped in their own personal storm love, warped into rivalry. Trust shattered by secrets, and decades of silence finally cracking under the weight of truth. After lunch, the courtroom feels even colder. The winter sun can't penetrate the courthouse windows, leaving everything under that harsh, buzzing fluorescent glow. It's like the color has been drained out of the day. People settle back into their seats, coats over their laps, whispering about the morning's bombshells. But when the bailiff calls for order again and the judge takes the bench, the atmosphere thickens. Hope and fear twist together, making every breath feel like lifting a weight. The prosecutor stands, face calm, but eyes sparking with something electric. She lifts a thick white envelope. "Your Honor, we have new evidence that could alter the course of these proceedings." She passes it to the clerk. The seal breaks with a sharp crack that seems to echo off every wall. The judge opens the file and reads slowly. His brow furrows. His lips flatten. "This is a transfer of property," he finally says. "Coyote Pass. Signed by Kody Brown and Robin Brown at 11:56 p.m. nearly 2 years ago. The signatures of Meri Brown, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown are missing." He looks up first at Kody, then at each of the other wives. The gasp that rolls through the courtroom is almost physical. Even the reporters, usually numb to drama, jerk their heads up from their phones. Meri's hands curl into fists in her lap. Her jaw trembles not from fear, but from a rage that's been caged for years. Janelle goes completely pale. Christine whispers, barely audible, "How could they?" as if she's asking the universe, not the court. Just when you think every secret has already surfaced, the Browns discover there is always another layer waiting underneath. Kody tries to speak. "Your Honor, the judge doesn't let him." "You'll have your turn, Mr. Brown. For now, the evidence will speak." The prosecutor's voice is relentless. "Mr. Brown, you testified under oath last year that all property transactions were made with the full knowledge and consent of your wives." She turns to the judge. This document tells a very different story. The air shivers with anticipation. The court reporter's fingers hammer across the keys. Robin's shoulders shake. Her voice is tiny, breaking apart as it leaves her mouth. "We did what we had to do. It wasn't about hurting anyone." Christine snaps. She shoots to her feet, voice raw. "You always said you'd keep us together, Kody. You promised on our children's lives that you'd never go behind our backs. And you?" She points at Robin, eyes blazing with betrayal. "You were supposed to be our sister, not our enemy." The judge slams the gavel. "Mrs. Brown, sit down or I will clear the courtroom." Christine collapses back into her seat, shaking tears streaking her face. What would you do if you realized your entire life, every decision, every sacrifice was built on a lie? The Browns are about to find out. The prosecutor keeps going. "This isn't just about land," she says. "It's about trust. It's about who gets protected and who gets sacrificed. It's about who gets a future and who pays for it." Her gaze sweeps over each wife like a blade. The defense tries to claw back control. "Your Honor, my client was relying on advice from his business manager." The judge cuts him off again, voice clipped. "The question is whether your client knowingly misled his family and this court." Kody finally speaks, but his voice has shrunk, barely above a whisper. "I was trying to hold everything together. I thought if I could just get through the year, maybe things would calm down." Meri's voice slices through his defense like glass. "You're always holding things together, Kody, but it's always for you, never for us." The room is so quiet you can hear someone sniff in the back row. Robin's soft sobbing fills the silence. The judge turns to Janelle. "Mrs. Brown, did you have any knowledge of this transfer?" Janelle shakes her head slowly. "No, Your Honor, none. I trusted him." Her voice finally breaks, and the composure she's clung to all day shatters. Tears glisten in her eyes as she blinks them back, shoulders trembling. You can feel it, the ground shifting under the Brown family. It's the foundation they built their lives on, cracking wider with every sentence. Then the court calls the next witness, a notary public. An ordinary person with an extraordinary memory of one urgent night. They testify to the date, the time, the rushed signatures. They said it had to be done that night. It was just the two of them, the notary says, nodding toward Kody and Robin. Robin looks away, tears streaming down her face. Kody keeps his eyes glued to the table. The prosecutor doesn't let up. "Your Honor, we request that all family assets be frozen until the full scope of this deception is revealed." The judge nods, face grim. Request granted. A visible shudder passes through the room. This just stopped being TV drama. Through the room. This just stopped being TV drama. This is mortgages, bills, children's futures on the line. Christine leans toward Janelle, voice frantic. "What do we do now? We can't even pay the mortgage if they freeze the accounts." Janelle inhales sharply, her expression hardening. "We fight," she says. "For our kids, for what's right." Meri stands suddenly, fury shaking through every word. "He didn't just steal money," she says. "He stole our choices, our future, I want to testify. Think it can't get more intense? You're wrong. The next voice on the stand is going to rip the last veil off the Brown family's darkest secrets. The judge agrees. Meri is allowed to testify. She walks slowly to the stand, each step controlled, deliberate. She pauses just long enough to lock eyes with Kody, looks so fierce he finally drops his gaze. Her voice is steady at first. I stayed because I believed, she says. I forgave because I thought that's what families are supposed to do. But you weaponized that, Kody. Every time I asked for clarity, you called me jealous. Every time I asked to see the accounts, you called me controlling. I see now what you were really hiding. The prosecutor leans in. Mrs. Brown, what do you want from this court? Meri doesn't hesitate. I want my life back, she says. I want the truth. And I want everyone watching inside this courtroom and outside on those screens to finally see what really happened. Robin sobs into a crumpled tissue. Kody looks hollowed out, like someone carved out his insides and left only the shell. The judge thanks Meri and calls another recess. Outside, the air is brutally cold, but the reporters don't care. They swarm microphones out, chasing reactions that never come. The Browns move like ghosts, shields up, faces carved from stone. Inside, the tension buzzes like electricity. Everyone knows the next round isn't going to be softer. It's going to be worse. Rumors ripple through the benches. There's another witness coming. Someone with nothing left to lose and a journal full of secrets. By the time night falls, the courthouse windows turn into black mirrors, reflecting only the people inside. The lights buzz overhead, the low hum pressing against everyone's skulls. The benches creak as people shift, exhausted but unable to walk away. This no longer feels like a courtroom. It feels like confession. Except no one here wants forgiveness. They want the truth, and they want someone to pay. The bailiff steps forward again. Court is back in session. The energy tightens, like an invisible rope cinching around everyone's ribs. The judge calls the next witness. When the name echoes through the room, a few people literally gasp. It's the nanny. The nanny who lived with the Browns years ago. The one who saw everything from the background while the cameras focused on the show. The one who never spoke publicly until today. She walks in quietly, clutching a worn leather-bound journal to her chest. Her footsteps are small, hesitant, but her eyes are haunted, like someone who's been carrying the weight of other people's secrets for far too long. She sits, takes the oath, and folds her fingers over the journal like it's alive. The judge asks her to begin. She opens the book. The pages are yellowed, the ink smudged in places, as if someone cried over the words. Her hands tremble. I never meant to get involved, she says softly. But what I saw I couldn't unsee. So I wrote it down, every night. The room leans in as one. Even the judge goes unnaturally still. She reads the first entry. July 3rd, Kody and Robin met in the study again at midnight. They whispered for an hour. I heard the words accounts, transfer, and don't tell the others. Meri cried in her room tonight. I wanted to knock, but I didn't. Meri closes her eyes, a visible wave of pain washing across her face. Christine's hand lifts halfway toward her, then falls back into her lap, fingers curling into her palm like she's punishing herself for not reaching out sooner. Janelle stiffens in her seat. Robin turns away, tears sliding down her cheeks in silent streaks. The nanny turns the page. August 14th. Christine asked why the credit card was declined. She tried to hide how scared she was, but her voice shook when she asked Kody about it. He blamed her spending. She apologized. Christine sucks in a breath so sharply that people in the back row hear it. The defense objects, calling the diary hearsay, embellishment, imagination. The judge allows it not as hard evidence, but as context, pattern, and corroboration. The nanny keeps reading, entry after entry. Late night arguments, locked doors, whispered fights behind half-closed doors, deposit slips that vanished, receipts that never hit the family books, Kody stuffing papers into a drawer, Robin pacing the hallway after midnight, whispering into her phone. Each line is another cut, Another wound reopened under the sterile courtroom lights. Then she reaches a section where the pages are thicker, stained with coffee, ink blurred by drops that look suspiciously like tears. This was the worst week, she says. September 2nd. Meri begged Kody for transparency. She said she felt invisible. He snapped at her, told her she ruined every conversation. She apologized again. I felt sick. Meri's face crumples, shoulders shaking. For years, she carried that shame alone. Now the entire courtroom sees it laid bare in black and white. September 4th, the nanny continues. Janelle asked about the savings account. Kody got red in the face. Robin jumped in and said the money was where it needed to be. I saw the look in Janelle's eyes. That was the exact moment she stopped trusting them. Janelle wipes a tear away with the back of her hand, jaw trembling. September 6th, Christine packed a small suitcase. She sat on the edge of her bed for an hour. Then she unpacked it. The air goes heavy. Christine covers her mouth with both hands, shoulders collapsing inward as memories she tried to bury rip themselves free. Every diary line is a scar, and every scar belongs to someone who trusted the wrong person for far too long. The prosecutor asks, "Did you ever confront Mr. Brown about what you saw?" The nanny nods once. Just once. He told me family matters aren't for outsiders. The next week, he said my position was no longer needed. Kody clenches his jaw. Needed. Kody clenches his jaw. How it happened, the judge slams the gavel. You will remain silent, Mr. Brown, unless you are asked a question. The nanny flips deeper into the journal. The further she goes, the darker the entries become. The courtroom mood shifts from shock to heartbreak, then to something far more dangerous, anger. Then she reaches the entry that detonates everything. October 12th, I found documents in the study. Bank transfers, signatures, money moved into an account I'd never seen. The name on it wasn't any of the wives. It was someone else. The judge leans forward. The prosecutor's eyes narrow. Whose name? The nanny hesitates, staring at the line for a long second. When she speaks, her voice is barely a whisper. A woman named Elise. I don't know who she is. The room freezes. Robin slaps a hand over her mouth. Christine's eyes fly wide. Janelle sits up straighter, like someone just hit her with a live wire. Even the reporters stop typing mid-sentence. Meri doesn't move. She just stares at Kody with a look sharp enough to cut glass. Kody's face drains of color. This is being twisted. He starts, but the nanny keeps going. Robin knew about the transfers. She reads. Christine makes a choked sound. Janelle's mouth falls open. Meri's chest heaves, her breath shuddering as years of suspicion snap into brutal focus. Robin hides her face, sobbing into her hands. The courtroom doesn't explode into shouting. It erupts in horrified whispering. Even the security guards exchange looks. Just when you think you've hit the bottom of the truth, there's always one more secret waiting in the dark. This one hits the Brown family right in the heart. The nanny's voice cracks. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I just couldn't carry it alone anymore. The judge lets the silence stretch. It feels endless. Then the prosecutor asks the question no one was prepared to hear out loud. Did you ever hear Mr. Brown or Mrs. Brown Rabin discuss hiding money from the other wives? The nanny's eyes fill with tears. She swallows, hesitates, and the entire courtroom seems to lean forward at once. Yes, she whispers. More than once. The judge exhales sharply. Kody closes his eyes like he's trying to blot out reality. Robin sobs harder, shoulders shaking uncontrollably. Christine rises, hands trembling. You let us fight each other, she says, voice shredded. You let us blame each other for years while you knew the truth. The judge bangs the gavel again, but even he looks shaken now. Janelle speaks next, her voice like broken glass. Kody, who is Elise? Meri still doesn't say a word. She doesn't have to. Her silence roars louder than any scream. Kody's lips move, but nothing comes out. He looks cornered, desperate, like a man watching the ground crumble under his feet. The judge leans back. We will need to see those documents. The nanny hands over photocopies she made years ago, papers she locked away and never showed anyone until this moment. Papers that might become the centerpiece of this entire case. As the judge scans them, the courtroom hums like a live wire. The prosecutor folds her arms. Your Honor, the next witness will confirm these transfers. A chill moves through the room. Another witness. Another bomb waiting to go off. The bailiff opens the side door. A tall figure walks in, a man in a charcoal suit, lean, silver hair slicked back, carrying a file box like it weighs nothing. He moves with a calm precision that makes everything feel even more terrifying. This is the forensic accountant hand right now. He might be the most dangerous person in Kody Brown's world. He's sworn in, takes the stand, and sets the box on the table. When he speaks, his voice is cool, almost detached, a stark contrast to the burning emotion everywhere else. I was hired to follow the money, he says. He opens the first folder and clicks a remote. A projection screen lights up. Slide after slide, chart after chart, the Brown family's finances stripped bare. Over the last 7 years, he explains, money has been systematically moved from joint family accounts into a series of private accounts, some offshore, some through shell companies. He pauses, letting the numbers hit. The timing of these transfers aligns almost perfectly with the late-night meetings described in the nanny's journal. He clicks again. Some signatures were forged. The laser pointer circles overlapping names. Robin's, Meri's, Christine's, Janelle's, Kody's. Different orders. Different styles. This one was traced, he says. Gasps ripple across the room. Kody goes ashen. Robin looks like she might faint. Over $2 million, the accountant continues, moved over 7 years. And recently, significant amounts have been funneled into an account under the name Elise Chapman. Christine nearly drops the glass she's holding. Who is that? She demands, voice shaking. Kody stares at the table, refusing to answer. And in that moment, with charts glowing behind him and a family falling apart in front of him, the accountant quietly delivers the final blow. The Brown family's money didn't just disappear. It was redirected, intentionally, repeatedly, and the trail leads straight to someone. No one on that couch in front of the cameras ever talked about. This isn't just a family falling apart. This is a legacy detonating in real time. Legacy detonating in real time. The betrayal the world thought was only emotional suddenly transforms into cold, undeniable mathematics, a ledger of lies. The prosecutor rises with a calmness so sharp it could cut glass. Your Honor, she says clearly, we are calling Elise Chapman as a witness. A ripple of shock rolls across the courtroom. Elise Chapman, a name no wife, no child, no viewer of Sister Wives has ever heard. And yet, in an instant, she becomes the gravitational center pulling the entire Brown family universe apart. Before anyone can process the bombshell, the forensic accountant clicks to a new page. There's more, he says, voice hollow. The room stiffens. Withdrawals disguised as investments. But not a single dollar ever returned. The trail ends in cash withdrawals and closed accounts. Someone worked very hard to erase where the money landed. The judge leans forward, his expression turning storm dark. Who authorized these transactions? The accountant turns fully toward Kody and Robin. Only 2 people had the access codes. Gasps slice the silence open. Kody opens his mouth, eyes wild. I can explain, but Meri's voice erupts like a torched fuse. Explain. After years of telling us we were crazy. After mocking us for asking questions. After calling us jealous, paranoid, unstable. Her voice shakes but does not break. You lied to us, Kody. You lied to every one of us. Something inside Kody visibly collapses. His spine softens. His shoulders sag. The man who once commanded rooms suddenly looks smaller, king stripped of his throne. Robin folds into herself, sobbing into her palms, her entire body shaking. Janelle rises slowly, voice trembling with fury and heartbreak. All those years. I told myself if I just tried harder, believed harder, loved harder, the family would survive. But you, her finger points at Kody like an arrow. You stole our futures. You took everything we worked for. For what? For some stranger. Christine's turn is explosive. And you let us fight each other. She cries out. You let us blame ourselves, blame one another, while you were sneaking around behind our backs. The courtroom spirals into chaos, voices rising, tears, accusations, reporters scribbling like vultures in a frenzy. The bailiff steps forward, hands ready, as the judge's gavel slams like thunder. Order, order. He roars. This is not a circus. These allegations involve fraud, forgery, and potentially theft. Silence falls like a dropped curtain. The accountant pulls out one final folder. There's an email, he says. The judge nods grimly. The accountant reads, "After this, we're done. No more questions, no more loose ends. We'll tell them it was all for the family." The entire courtroom freezes. Not a sound, not a breath. It feels like the heartbeat of the building stops. The judge calls a recess, but it feels more like a mercy. People stumble into the hallway as if escaping a fire. Reporters swarm with microphones and flashing lights. In the hallway, Christine collapses onto a bench, face buried in her hands. Janelle sits beside her, hollow, defeated. Meri paces in furious circles, whispering, "He ruined everything. He ruined all of us." Robin disappears the moment the gavel falls, slipping through side corridors like a shadow trying to outrun the truth. But the truth always catches up. Back inside, the prosecutor stands before the judge. "Your Honor, we need Elise Chapman on the stand today." Minutes later, the door creaks open. A woman in her 40s steps in tall, nervous, clutching her purse like a lifeline. Elise Chapman, the center of the storm. She sits, trembling. "Yes," she says softly. "I received money from accounts connected to Kody and Robin Brown." Meri leans forward, her voice a razor. "Did you know you were taking our family's future?" Elise's eyes fill with tears. "I swear I didn't know. I was told it was for consulting. I never met anyone except Kody and Robin. I trusted them." Janelle whispers, "He lied to everyone." Christine asks through tears, "What did you do for the money?" Elise hesitates. "Nothing. He told me to hold the funds until the business was ready. Then he stopped responding. The account was emptied. I never saw him again." The silence that follows is suffocating. Then the judge drops the bomb that detonates the entire courtroom. "I am ordering an immediate audit of all Brown family accounts. All assets are frozen, effective immediately. Mr. Brown and Mrs. Brown Robinu are both under investigation for fraud, conspiracy, and embezzlement." Kody goes white. Robin collapses in sobs. Meri breaks into tears. Christine buries her face in her hands. Janelle stares into nothing, completely hollowed out. "Bailiff," the judge says, "take them into custody for questioning." The clink of handcuffs rings through the courtroom like a death bell. Reporters scream questions. Cameras explode in flashes. Meri rises, shaking but fierce. "This isn't the end," she declares. "We survived him. We can survive this." But no one in the room believes the wounds will heal easily, as Kody and Robin are led away. The rest of the wives are left behind, survivors of a man who built an empire on shared love and buried it under betrayal. Night crashes over the courthouse. Rain streaks the windows. Inside, the courtroom holds its breath as the judge returns to deliver the final verdict. "Rise," the bailiff commands. Kody and Robin are brought in, trembling. The judge's voice breaks through the silence. This court finds Kody Brown and Robin Brown guilty of fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, and embezzlement. A stunned moan ripples across the courtroom. Kody Brown is sentenced to 23 years in state custody. Robin Brown is sentenced to 8 years. Robin collapses. Kody whispers, "No, no," as if reality might change its mind. The wives fall apart. Christine sobs. Janelle crumples. Meri wipes her face with trembling hands, but behind the tears, she glows with something she hasn't felt in years: justice. The judge continues. Remaining assets will be liquidated and divided equally among the wives and children. Reporters bang on the doors. The world erupts in headlines. Kody Brown sentenced. Sister wives crumble, but inside the courthouse, everything is quiet. The wives slip away through a side door, entering a small waiting room with yellow walls and mismatched chairs. Janelle whispers, "We need to go home." Christine nods. "The kids need us. We can't break. Not now." Meri stares out at the rain. "He said we'd be together forever," she murmurs. "But this is the first time I think we might actually survive without him." For the first time in years, the three women stand together, not as co-wives competing for scraps of affection, but as survivors choosing their own future. Outside, the world devours the headlines. Inside, the women take their first breath of freedom. And as they walk down the courthouse steps under the broken sky, Christine whispers, "We survived." Meri nods, tears glistening. "Now we get to live our own story." Listening. "Now we get to live our own story." As soon as Christine opens the front door, her kids crash into her like a wave. Their arms wrap around her so tightly it almost hurts, but the pain feels like proof that they're still here, still real. She breathes them in shampoo sweat, Saltiersand for the first time since the judge's verdict. She feels something like life returning to her body. Out on the porch, Janelle and Meri watch silently, eyes burning. They're not just watching Christine's reunion. They're watching a version of themselves they wish they still were, moms who could still pretend everything was okay. Janelle's house is next. The front yard is a mess, muddy, trampled by neighbors, relatives. Kids who didn't know where else to stand while their world fell apart. Her son stands framed in the doorway, eyes red, jaw rigid. When she reaches him, he doesn't say anything. He just pulls her into a hug that's almost desperate, holding on like she might disappear if he lets go. Then he turns away and wipes his face fast, like he's too old to be seen crying, even now. Meri's house is last. Her living room feels like a museum of ghost dim light. Heavy, quiet memories pressed into every piece of furniture. She sinks onto the couch and stares at the big family portrait above the mantel. Kody, the wives, the kids. Everyone's smiling. Everyone pretending they were happy, safe, united. She stands up, reaches for the frame, and takes it down with both hands. For a long second, she just looks at it. Then she turns it face down and sets it on the table. The sound it makes against the wood is small, but it feels final. The night drags. In Christine's kitchen, questions land like blows. Is Dad coming home? Her youngest asks, eyes wide and frightened. Christine pulls her close, cradling her like she did when she was a baby. "Not for a long time, sweetheart," she says softly. "But I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." What she doesn't say out loud echoes in her head anyway. We're starting over, whether we're ready or not. Janelle's voice trembles as she calls her older children. One by one, they pick up, their pain pouring through the phone anger. Confusion, guilt, blame, flung at Kody, at her, at the universe. She listens to all of it. She takes every word like it's a debt she owes them. She can't fix what's happened, but she can be the one who doesn't hang up. Meri sits alone with the glow of her phone lighting her face as she scrolls through social media. Clips from old episodes, screenshots, memes, mocking captions. Every moment of doubt, every tear she cried on camera is being dissected now by strangers who don't know her at all. She almost laughs at the absurdity of it. They turned her worst years into content, into entertainment. The hurt is still sharp, still fresh, but underneath it, there's something new thin. Fragile, but growing. Freedom when everything you leaned on collapses. You find out who you are without it. For the first time, the Brown women are about to find out who they might become when they are no longer orbiting Kody. By morning, the story has swallowed the world. Talk shows dissect it. Podcasts debate it. News tickers scroll, sister wives scandal, Kody Brown behind bars. Friends text some with love, some with judgment, some asking for details they don't deserve. Old enemies smirk. Strangers send threats. The women shut off their phones, close their curtains, but the outside world has learned how to claw its way through walls. The producers call, too. America wants to know what happens next, they say. How about a tell-all special? For now, the answer is no. The cameras had their turn. The kids don't get that option. At school, they feel the full cruelty of being headline adjacent. Whispers trail them down hallways. Did your dad really steal all that money, or your mom's going to jail too? Some teachers shield them, some look at them like they're a scandal, not children. At night, the Brown women gather their kids close, holding them through sobs, rage, and questions they don't yet know how to answer. A few days later, Christine, Janelle, and Meri meet at a coffee shop no one associates with them, a bland little place where the barista barely glances up. They slide into a back booth, shoulders hunched, voices low. "We need a plan," Janelle says, fingers wrapped around a coffee cup like it's the only warm thing she has left. The press isn't going to stop. The show is over. The money's gone. What do we actually do now? Meri exhales, exhausted. "We survive," she says. "We get jobs. We take care of our kids. We tell the truth. No more spin. No more scripts." Christine nods slowly. "And we make sure Kody can never hurt us or our kids ever again." Janelle looks at her, and there's a new light in her eyes, something between anger and hope. "Maybe it's time we stop living his dream," she says, "and start living ours." For a moment, the silence between them isn't empty. It feels full of choices, of fear, of determination. If you had to rebuild your entire life in front of millions, would you hide? Or would you fight for your future? Later that afternoon, the doorbell rings at Christine's house. Her stomach tightens. Every knock now feels threatening. She opens the door to a man in a suit, expression businesslike, envelope in hand. "You're Christine Brown?" He asks. She nods carefully. "You've been served." Her hands shake as she reads the papers. A new lawsuit. Someone is coming for the remaining family land. Another legal war. Another storm. She calls Janelle and Meri, reading the words aloud, her voice flattening with disbelief. "They're not done with us," she says. Janelle lets out a bitter laugh. "Of course they're not. But we're not alone anymore." There's a pause. Then Meri's voice cuts through, steady and low. "We fight this together." That night, Christine sits at the kitchen table under a tired overhead light. Legal documents spread around her like a broken halo. The kids are asleep upstairs. The house is quiet, but her mind isn't. She remembers all the nights she spent fighting to keep a family together that was already breaking. This time, she isn't fighting for Kody's image. She's fighting for herself, for her children, for women who finally chose each other over him. And just when it feels like they've lost everything, one late-night phone call shifts tea. One late-night phone call shifts tea. The ground again threatens to drag up secrets no one ever expected to see daylight. The next morning, the sun rises like nothing happened. Headlines scroll across TVs and phones. But inside the Brown homes, time feels thick and slow. Sleep came in flashes, haunted by gavels, bars, and Kody's face as the sentence was read. Christine wakes before dawn and shuffles into the kitchen in bare feet. She stands at the window, watching the sky lighten from black to gray to the faintest pink. The world outside is moving on, but in her chest, everything still feels shattered, pieces clicking whenever she breathes. A sudden knock startles her. Her heart jumps into her throat. After the verdict, strangers feel dangerous. She peeks through the curtain and sees Janelle, wrapped in a heavy coat, eyes swollen, face exhausted. Christine opens the door without a word and pulls her in. They hug and just stand there for a minute. No explanations, no questions. Right now, the only thing that matters is, you're here. They sit at the kitchen table while the kettle whistles. Janelle's voice is ragged. "I didn't sleep," she admits. "I just kept thinking, what if he hid more? What if this lawsuit is only the beginning?" Christine's hand trembles as she pours tea. "It always was with him," she says. "Every time you think it's over, there's another secret, another mess, another wound." She stares at the steam curling out of her mug. "I can't do this anymore." Janelle nods slowly. "We don't have to. Not alone." By mid-morning, Meri joins them, carrying her own stack of problems legal notices. Bank letters, overdue bills now that assets are frozen and accounts are under scrutiny. Her face is pale, but there's a steel in her eyes that wasn't there before the trial. "We have to fight back," she says, spreading the papers across the table like a war map. "If we don't, they'll take what's left: our homes, our savings, our kids' futures. We need a lawyer. Not just for this land thing, for everything." Christine studies her sister's faces. "Do you trust anyone right now?" Janelle shakes her head. "We have to trust someone. We can't do this without help." Meri takes a shaky breath. "I called someone," she admits. "A lawyer who handles family asset protection. They said they'll meet us, off the record. But we need to go now." The drive across town feels like 100 others they've taken together, but nothing about this is familiar. They barely speak, each trapped in her own loop of fear and determination. For years, they waited on Kody, waited for him to change, waited for him to tell the truth, waited for him to care. Now they're waiting for someone else entirely, a stranger who might give them a way out. The office is in a small building tucked behind a strip mall, blinds drawn, nameplate simple. Inside, a woman with a firm handshake and clear eyes introduces herself as their attorney. She doesn't gawk. She doesn't ask for selfies. She sits, listens, and takes notes as the women unload everything Kody schemes. The land transfers, the frozen accounts, the lawsuit, the kids, the humiliation. This isn't just about property, the lawyer finally says. It's about control. Someone is trying to force you to settle, to shut up, to give back what's rightfully yours. Do we even have a chance? Christine asks, voice barely above a whisper. The lawyer nods, slowly and honestly. Yes, but it's going to be ugly. They'll dig up everything. Every text. Every episode clip. Every mistake. You'll feel like your life is on trial again. Are you ready for that? Meri doesn't hesitate. We've already lost everything, she says. What else can they take? Janelle reaches over and squeezes Christine's hand. We fight, she says. The lawyer lays out a plan, documents to gather, statements to write, timelines to build. If they want a war, she says, then fight smart. Fight together. When they step back out into the daylight, nothing has technically changed. The lawsuit still exists. The accounts are still frozen. Kody is still in prison. But for the first time, the women feel something that has nothing to do with him. Momentum? Later that day, they regroup at Meri's house. They bring coffee, pastries, leftovers, little fragments of normal life. The kids play upstairs, their laughter echoing faintly through the ceiling as the women spread out old files on the dining table. Receipts, emails, text logs, scribbled notes from years ago, phone bills that suddenly look like evidence. Every scrap is a piece of a puzzle they didn't know they were going to need to solve. It hurts. Every line, every memory, every timestamp brings back moments they'd rather forget. But in the pain, there's release. They're not covering for Kody anymore. They're building a case against the man they once all loved. Outside, the world keeps clawing at them. Social media wars rage. Supporters fight haters in comment sections while the Browns kids get sent screenshots of memes and headlines. Ignore it, Christine tells them. Those people don't know us. But at night, when the house is quiet, she reads some of the comments anyway and feels every cruel word like a bruise she can't show anyone. Late one evening, the phone rings from a blocked number. Meri answers, cautious. On the other end, a man introduces himself as a state investigator. There's something you should know, he says. We found new evidence tied to Kody's accounts. There's a safety deposit box in his name. We need your consent as part of the family to open it. The women exchange looks. Another secret. Another layer. What if it's just more lies? Janelle whispers. Meri doesn't flinch. We can't be afraid of the truth anymore, she says. Whatever it is, we need to know. They agreed to meet at the bank the next morning. Sleep that night is a stranger. Sleep that night is a stranger. Christine lies awake, staring at the ceiling. Imaginary versions of what could be inside that box flickering through her mind. Hidden cash. More forged documents. Evidence that could save them more, finish them. Every family has skeletons. The Browns are about to learn whether theirs will set them free or bury them. Morning comes gray and heavy. At the bank, the investigator walks them through the vault, the air cold and metallic. The safety deposit box is small, almost ordinary, but the tension around it is anything but. With a click and a scrape, it opens. Inside, old family photos, a couple of rings, and at the bottom, a sealed envelope. It's addressed simply, "To my wives. Read only if I'm gone." The investigator hands it to them and steps back. Christine's fingers tremble as she breaks the seal. Inside is a handwritten letter from Kody dated months before the trial. He apologizes. He confesses to things the court never mentioned: hidden accounts, quiet betrayals, a contingency plan to disappear if everything fell apart. He writes about fear, about ego, about losing control. He insists he was trying to protect them and lost himself instead. He begs them to find peace, even if that peace comes without him in their lives. The letter is equal parts confession and self-pity. There's no money, no hidden salvation. Just words, late, hollow, and unable to undo what's been done. Janelle's eyes fill with angry tears. He still thinks this is about him, she says, even now. Christine carefully folds the letter. "We can't let him write our ending," she says quietly. "Not anymore." Meri tucks the letter away. "He doesn't," she says. "We do." They leave the bank with no new wealth, no magic fix, just clarity. Kody is out of their hands and out of their homes, but his shadow doesn't get the last say. The fight ahead is still long, but now they know what they're fighting for, not just what they're fighting against. That night, Christine cooks dinner. The table fills kids talking over each other, plates passed, jokes told. For a little while, the grief loosens its grip. The laughter doesn't erase what happened, but it proves something important. They can still feel joy. As the dishes sit in the sink and the noise softens and a background hum, a knock sounds at the door. Christine frowns. Late knocks usually mean trouble now. She wipes her hands and opens the door. A woman stands on the porch clutching a stack of papers, nerves written all over her face. She's a stranger, and yet not entirely. There's something familiar in the curve of her jaw, the shape of her eyes. "I think I'm your sister," the woman blurts out. "Kody was my father too." The house goes silent in an instant. The kids' laughter fades. The hum of the refrigerator suddenly feels loud. Christine's pulse roars in her ears. They bring the woman inside. Her name is Hannah. They sit around the kitchen table: Christine, Janelle, Meri, and this stranger who might not be a stranger at all. Hannah places her folder on the table, handshaking. Hannah places her folder on the table, handshaking. "My mom met him almost 30 years ago," she explains. "He was traveling. She never told him she was pregnant. I only found out after I saw the trial on TV. I did a DNA test. It matches. I'm not here for money. I wanted to know if I had family." The words fall heavy. Another secret. Another life Kody never told them about. Christine studies Hannah's face and sees pieces of her own children and fragments of the man who broke them all. It's terrifying and strangely comforting all at once. Meri breaks the silence with a question that isn't really a question. "Do you have anywhere to stay tonight?" Hannah shakes her head, tears glistening. "No, I came straight from Utah. I didn't know where else to go." Janelle stands, her voice firm and mother-soft. "Then you stay here," she says, "with us." Just when it looks like the story might finally be over, life cracks open a new chapter. Heartbreak and healing arrive in the same knock at the door. Hannah becomes an unexpected kind of glue. As she sits with them in the living room that night, listening to stories about siblings she never knew she had. The weight inside the house shifts slightly. The children warm to her quickly, drawn to her gentleness and shared confusion. Her laugh is awkward at first, then real. "Your family," Christine tells her quietly. "Messy, complicated family, but family." Meri smiles, a little crooked. "We're used to surprise sisters around here," she jokes softly. Janelle actually laughs, a bright, unburdened sound they haven't heard from her in weeks. "Welcome to the chaos," she says. The storm outside finally moves on. leaving the streets wet and gleaming. Inside, the Browns sit with their broken pieces and this strange, fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, they can build something new from them. By the next morning, news of Hannah hits the internet too. Secret Brown daughter scrolls across screens. People argue she's a gold digger. Some say she's a victim too. Others insist. The world has its theories, but for once, the women ignore it. They know who she is to them. That's enough. The legal battles don't vanish. The land lawsuit drags on, pulling them back into courtrooms and depositions. Producers dangle huge offers for exclusive interviews with the new Brown daughter twist, but the women refuse. They're done selling their pain. One afternoon, a letter arrives from Robin. She writes from prison, her handwriting shaky and uneven. She apologizes. She admits her part. She says she wishes she could undo what she did. She begs them to tell the kids she loves them. She doesn't ask for forgiveness, only for the chance that someday they might all find peace. Christine reads the letter aloud. When she finishes, the room is quiet. At least she's honest now, Janelle says softly. Meri doesn't answer right away. She's thinking about how many times she forgave too quickly, how many times she helped hold together a family built on lies. For the first time, the forgiveness she is considering isn't for Kody or Robin. It's for herself. They decide to write back not with venom, but with truth. They update Robin about the kids, about Hannah, about how life is moving forward without Kody at the center. They don't promise anything big. They simply offer honesty. If healing ever comes, it'll be on their terms. Spring arrives. Trees bud. The town softens under new green. In the middle of all that renewal, the Browns find small joys. A birthday party where no one wonders whether Kody will show up. A graduation that's about the kid not, the family name. A Sunday hike where the only drama is who forgot the snacks. Neighbors who once kept their distance stop by with casseroles and job leads. Hannah becomes part of the routine: school runs, dinners, late-night talks. The Browns aren't famous in their own minds anymore. They're just living. The old house on Coyote Pass, once the crown jewel of Kody's dream, goes on the market. One day, Christine, Janelle, and Meri drive out there together with Hannah in the back seat. They walk the property slowly, remembering the nights they spent